Again, my name is Dr. Bacon, and I am a public education specialist at Gift of Life, Michigan. And interesting enough, with all these beautiful youth here, my job is I actually go into schools, okay? And I educate youth about organ and tissue donation, chronic disease prevention, and most importantly, the dangers of vaping. You hear me again? The dangers of vaping, all right? So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a background of what the Gift of Life does, okay? And I implore the audience to ask questions because we're gonna take this as an opportunity to learn, all right? Organ and tissue donation is so important in the Black community as the wait list makes up 66% of our population, all right? So the Gift of Life, we are actually in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and we are an organ procurement organization, meaning we are one of 8 organizations whose sole responsibility is to provide organs and tissue for those in the Michigan area, okay? So anyone in here ever heard of the Gift of Life, first of all? Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. Anybody in this room know of anybody that's ever received an organ transplant? Wow. What? Really? That is a lot of people in this room. You said who had their hand up over here? What did they get?
They got a liver and a kidney.
Liver and a kidney? What about?
They got a liver that costs $10,000 through a private procurement.
Okay, we're not going to tackle that because that don't even sound right. We're going to table that. Okay.
I think it was black market.
We don't. Okay, we're going to keep that to yourself. Okay. What about you?
A child and one of my children in my classroom years ago had a heart transplant.
Really? You?
Kidney.
Okay, how many kidneys do we have in this room that we know that had kidney transplants? Okay. Did you know that the kidneys are the most needed organ? Okay. Right now in the state of Michigan, we have about 2,500 individuals on the waiting list waiting for a solid organ. Out that 2,500, guess what? A little over 2,300 are waiting for a kidney. Okay. The primary reason a person is in need of a kidney transplant is because of diabetes and high blood pressure. Okay, think about how we eat. Think about how we eat. I know I cannot wait to get out here and get some McDonald's. Some French fries, some collard greens, cornbread, black eyed peas. Did you? And would you season it with? Some
Just salt and pepper, because you and
salt and pepper? You say you're gonna do salt and pepper?
smoked turkey, because that's smoked turkey do it.
Okay. But just think about how we eat. Think about how we eat, okay? Everything is supersized. Everything is chock full of sodium. So let me ask you this, by a show of hands, how many people in this room know someone that's got diabetes? Show of hands, how many people in here know someone that's got high blood pressure? Are you serious? Good Lord. Okay, let me ask you this. How many people in this room know someone that's on dialysis? Are you serious?
He doesn't know what it means.
So dialysis, so let me tell you this. What's your name? Thomas. So what dialysis is, so when a person has diabetes or high blood pressure, and it goes poorly controlled over a long period of time, it can cause the kidneys to fail to filter waste out of the body. So when you wake up in the morning and you've been sleeping all night and you literally, I want to be politically correct and say void, but we're going to say urinate. Okay, that is your body's way of flushing the waste out of the system, okay? And so when your kidneys are failing and you are in end-stage renal failure, guess what? What that means is your kidneys aren't able to flush out the waste. So guess what? You're walking around with all that waste in your body, okay? And so the only way that you can get that waste out of your body is to have it filtered out artificially, Thomas, through dialysis, okay? So picture this. Thomas, what's your name? Amari. So say Thomas and Amari, your high school sweethearts, you've gone to college. But just humor me, humor. Okay, so let's humor me. Okay, so humor me. All right. So y'all have gone to college. You are a famous attorney. You are a housewife. You've got 4 kids. Okay. Thomas, your diet is horrible. Okay. You start not feeling good. Your wife is like, go to the doctor, but you're hard-headed. Okay. By the time you finally go to the doctor, they're like, womp womp. You have to start emergent dialysis. You know why? Because you have gone so long with diabetes and high blood pressure, but you never went to the doctor and you didn't even know you had it. Kidney disease is the silent killer because it's asymptomatic. Asymptomatic is it shows no symptoms, okay? So all of a sudden, picture this. Thomas has to start dialysis. He's going to dialysis 3 times a week. Every time you're spending 4 hours, okay? So when you go to dialysis, not only is it pulling the waste out of your body, it's also pulling the good nutrients out as well. So oftentimes you feel like crap, okay? So let me ask you this, Thomas. You got 4 kids. Your wife's a stay-at-home mom. How are you going to financially support your family? You're on dialysis 16 to 20 hours a week. What you gonna do? Thomas, what you gonna do? You don't know. Oh, and let me just say this. The average wait for a kidney, bruh, you're waiting 5 to 7 years, okay? Let me just put it in perspective. I had a heart transplant. Looking at me, you wouldn't even know. That ain't nothing but God. Nothing but God. I got the call on a Friday. I was at my mom's house on her couch, because I'm a couch potato back then, all right? At my mom's house, got the call on a Friday. Amy, we're putting you back active status, okay? 3 days later, on Monday at 8:07 p.m., bring, it's U of M. Amy Bacon, we've got a heart for you. Yes. So let that sink in. 3 days. 3 days. Thomas, you're waiting an average of 5 to 7 years. Okay? You letting that sink in? Okay? So, more about the gift of life. We are literally responsible for anyone that ever gets an organ. Okay? When we talk about organs, we recover hearts, lungs, we recover liver, and the liver is the largest organ in the human body. The liver, in fact, I have 1 minute. The liver is the only organ in the human body that actually can regenerate itself. So I've got 1 more minute, y'all. So I've got a lot to cover. So I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. So it is rumored that if you have the red heart on your driver's license, meaning you're a registered organ donor, then they're not going to try as hard to save your life. That is simply not true. You know why? Because first of all, the doctors have a policy, and it's actually called the Hippocratic Oath, to first do no harm. All right? And they don't even know who is a registered organ donor. Guess who knows? Not even the gift of life. It is actually Secretary of State. So say, for instance, you have someone that has the potential to be an organ donor. Now, there's 2 types of deaths. There's actually brain death, and that is when your brain sustains damage. It could be from lack of oxygen, from an asthma attack. It could be from a catastrophic head injury, all right? So there's no oxygen going to the brain. Your brain is no longer able to tell your body what to do. That is brain death. So when a person has brain death, all right, then those donors come to the gift of life, and we recover those organs on site, all right? The second kind of death is actually cardiac death or circulatory death, okay? So we know that your heart pumps blood throughout the body. And so if your heart is not able to pump blood throughout the body, guess what? Your brain is not getting oxygen either, all right? In situations like that, those donors remain in the hospital, all right? Because it is the doctors and the family members that decide when life support is going to be pulled, all right? Unfortunately, some people hold on. I had a sister that passed from an aneurysm, and she was an organ donor, and she survived for 12 hours afterwards, okay? And so ideally, we want the person to pass within 45 minutes. Now, reason being, remember what I said, if your heart is no longer able to pump blood sufficiently through the body, then there's no oxygen going to the body or the brain. So when we withdraw life support, your body is slowly dying, okay? And the longer you go with your body slowly dying, guess what? Your organs aren't getting oxygenated, and they're slowly dying, and they're not gonna be transplantable, all right? So in situations where someone does not pass away in a timely manner, they wouldn't be able to be an organ donor. However, they would be able to be a tissue donor, okay? I need a volunteer from the team. Who's not shy? Come here. What's your name?
Gila.
Gila, come here, Gila. Yes, Gila. Yes, Gila. Okay, come on, Gila. So, Gila is 108 years old. Girl, just go with me. Just go with me, okay?
Right.
Gila's 108 years old. Gila has lived a long, healthy life, okay? Loving husband. She's got grandkids. She made a whole lot of money in her career. And she passes away peacefully in her bed. Love, okay? So, Gia is not able to be an organ donor, but guess what, Gila? Gila, that's what I said, Gila. Gila, my bad, homie. Okay. So Gila is able to be a tissue donor. And so when we think about tissue, a lot of people think, oh, it's just the skin. Oh, no. Can I touch you? Okay, so when we recover the skin, all right, we recover the skin for burns and for cosmetic surgery, okay? Maybe if a woman had a mastectomy and she needed reconstructive surgery, okay? But think about this. Imagine this. What's your name? Lily. So Lily, tell me about the burn, like 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree burns. Are you familiar with that? Those different levels?
Not really.
Okay, so the higher the number, look at you. Give her another round of hands. Yes. So, when we recover the skin, we're not gonna just take a cheese grater and just like scrape it off, like grandmama, nope. We need all of this. We're gonna do the epidermis. Epi means upon. So the first layer of skin, we're gonna go to the adipose, which is the fat, and we need the muscle too, okay? We need all this meat, okay? So we're gonna recover the skin from your arms, both arms, the legs, and the back, okay? Hold on, grasshopper, hold on. And you wanna hear something, intro, who said skin grab? You said skin grab? Interesting, so it doesn't matter the color of a person's skin, if they've got tattoos or scars, because we're gonna send that skin to a processor, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna stretch it out. You must be a nurse or something. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're gonna stretch that skin out, and then we're gonna poke little holes in it. And say, for instance, may I touch you? You are the burn victim. We're gonna put that skin on your arm, for instance, and her natural pigmentation is gonna come through those holes, okay? So back to Gia. So I've gotten all of Gia's skin, all right? Then I'm gonna start recovering Gia's bones. We're gonna cover her bones from her arms, her legs, her coastal cartilage, which is her chest, and some of her ribs, and some from your spine too, okay? So think about this. Anybody in this room ever broken a bone? Did you? And ever had to have like pins or screws?
No, not that.
Who said yes? Okay, so do you still have those pins in your... So how about this though? How about this? Have they ever talked to you about removing those screws? No. So sometimes they remove them. But guess what we're able to do? We're able to use we can take a human bone and literally whittle it to anything that we want. And it's less chance of infection, okay? Quicker healing time. And your body's gonna recognize that bone as its own tissue. Bones are the bomb, okay? So we've got We've got your skin, we've got your bone. We're also gonna use your veins, your tendons, your ligaments, okay? We're gonna use your corneas on your eye. You know what a cornea is? Nope. So your cornea is literally the first layer of the eye. It's considered the windshield wiper, okay? So imagine this, you're outside driving and it's raining cats and donkeys and your windshield wiper blades are on this last leg, like it's like key and the rubber's hanging off. Okay, it's like that when you got a janky cornea, all right? So when your cornea is janky and damaged, you can't see through it, okay? But at the Gift of Life, you can get new corneas, all right? So, what's your name again, Gila? Gila's family, now I've taken everything from Gila, okay? So Gila's family wants an open casket, okay? So how would we go about having an open casket if I've already recovered Gila's skin, her bone? You said plastic surgery? But listen. Use your critical thinking skills. If I've taken her skin, her bones, and I haven't taken your organs, but let's just say hypothetically, I also recovered all of her organs. And I try to put her back together. Now, bear in mind, she has no skin. What would she look like? Huh? Who said skeleton? You said skeleton? Huh? Dehydrated like some old chicken jerky? But no, what we're gonna do, it's like magic. We're gonna put you back together, okay? All right? And so whatever we remove from the body, we are going to replace, okay? We're gonna use artificial skin, okay? And we're gonna stuff her with, I mean, you're saying that, but yes, you know, we're gonna stuff her because we want her to be plump, all right? And so for the bones, guess what we're using now for the bones? We used to use like metal rods and wood, but guess what we're using now? Corn cobs. Corn cobs. Corn cobs. Like, I'm sure somebody gnaws the corn off the cob first. But yes, you know why we use corn cobs? Because corn cobs are biodegradable, okay? So we're gonna use the corn cobs, and so we're gonna put her back together, get you all together, okay? And then so when the funeral comes to get you, they're gonna do their additional magic, and there's literally not gonna be any way that anyone will be able to tell that you were an organ and tissue donor, okay? But we're not gonna stop there. So when you register to be an organ donor, okay, if you're over the age of 18, that's called first person authorization. Your wishes have to be met, all right? If you're under the age of 18, like you would need your parent, your guardian to give permission, all right? So let me reiterate. We're recovering tissue and organs, all right? There are situations, okay, that we will recover other things, okay? And if we recover other things, we have to go to the family and get additional permission, okay? We've done hand transplants. There was a lady, I actually met her. She had cleaned up some debris during a hurricane and she didn't have gloves on. And so can you imagine you're cleaning up hurricane juice and debris and everything is in there, nooks and all that. So she ended up getting a very bad infection, sepsis, gangrene, and she ended up getting both of her hands cut off, amputated, all right? But she was able to get 2 new hands, all right? We've also done arm transplants, all right? I'm not gonna tell you the story about that, but it's a little bit too much. But we do arm transplants, okay? And guess what else? We do face transplants, okay? There is a man, his name is Robert Chelsea. Google him, Robert Chelsea. He is the first African-American person in U.S. history to ever receive a full face transplant, okay? And so we have to go to the family, and it takes months and months and months and a full surgical staff with 3D imaging just to make that work, okay? In addition, guess what else we can do? We're like magical. We are able to do uterus transplants. Okay, so like say for instance, someone maybe had endometriosis and they were still in childbearing years, but weren't able to carry an infant. they would be able to get a uterus transplant, okay? So those are just some of the things that we are able to transplant, okay? And so what's really, thank you, I've got a special prize for you, okay? Thank you. And so in 2022, we passed the HOPE Act. And what the HOPE Act is, if someone has HIV or even full-blown AIDS, they can also be an organ donor, okay? And the first person to ever receive a heart transplant that was HIV positive from an HIV donor was actually in New York. Because guess what? You can't get HIV twice, okay? Also, we're able to recover organs from individuals that have hepatitis C, all right? A good friend of mine received a hepatitis positive heart, okay? So there is no disease or medical condition that would preclude anybody from being an organ donor. It doesn't matter what medical conditions you have. It doesn't matter your age. As a matter of fact, the oldest liver donor was 103. The youngest cornea recipient was 3 days old. Now, I don't know how they knew that baby couldn't see. I'm not sure, that's above my pay grade. But so we kind of rock a little bit, you know. Can't's not a word, can is. So my motive today was not to get you all to go out and sign up to be a registered organ donor. My goal was to dispel myths, okay? Because as African Americans, we have what's called a protective silence, and we have a distrust in the health community, okay? And it is so important because in an all-perfect world, it's better to get an organ from someone who shares your ethnic background. But unfortunately, we don't have enough organ donors to be picky. Me, for instance, my heart came from a white male, and 14 years out, I haven't had one rejection. Okay, I see the little finger. Thank you for your time, and make good choices.